What's up, guys? My name is Alexis and welcome back to the Beautiful Chaos YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, it's nice to have you. And if you're a returning friend and subscriber, welcome back. I'm glad to have you here. Excuse the mess in the background today. This is also my craft area, as most of you know, and I have a lot going on back here today. But today's video is something new for my channel. Well, not super new, but this is going to be my first actual ear tutorial today for you guys. I'm going to show you how I made these really cute cupcake ears that I have on. So that's going to be super fun. Let me know what you think in the comments if you want me to do more of these. And I am also going to link below and up above, not sure what corner it's going to be in, but I will link the time-lapse video that I did last week on how I make ears for you guys. But this one's going to be more in-depth. I'm going to do a voiceover, all that fun stuff. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I made these guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so here is the fabric that I'm using. I got this at Michael's. It's a super cute, brightly patterned cupcake print. I thought it was super cute and super fun for summer. I also love cupcakes, so I'm just getting all the stickers and stuff off of that. And we're gonna lay it down on our table with the pretty side down. And this is just gonna make it easier to trace our templates, and yeah, so we don't get Sharpie on the good side. But here is the template I'm using, and we're just gonna pick a spot on our fabric. And with pattern fabric, you do want to make sure that you have the pattern that you want to show up on your ear where your template is, which kind of seems obvious, but I thought I would mention it because it can be overlooked. So here I am just using a disappearing ink pen. I got that at Walmart. And we're just going to go ahead and trace our template, and we are going to do this 4 times. So I think I only have it in here once for you, but we're just going to repeat that 3 more times for all the sides of our ears, and then we're gonna go cut it out. I am using fabric scissors, but if you don't have those, normal scissors are gonna work just fine. So here we are cutting it out. And then there's the super cute print. I love how bright and fun this is. And then we're just gonna move that aside, and this looks kind of weird, I know, but I am plugging in an old flat iron, and you will see why in a minute. But I am just gonna turn that on, get it to a relatively low heat temperature, and we're gonna set it aside to let it heat up. So now what I'm doing while that's heating up is I am taking 4-inch cardboard coasters. I got these on Amazon. I will try to link them below for you. But these are going to be what stabilizes our ear, so you'll see here in a minute what I mean. But we are going to take our other template here, and we're just going to line it up on the coasters. And here in a second, I couldn't find my disappearing ink pen, so I was going to use the Cricut one, and then I found that one. But we are just going to line this up at the top of the circle and trace along the bottom here. And again, you do need 4 of the cardboard coasters. You can also use the same template to trace cardboard and cut that out, but I've found that the coasters make life so much easier. And I got a pack of 50 of these on Amazon for only a few dollars, so I will try to link these below. And then we're just going to cut out that little bottom part that we traced, and this is what's gonna go on the headband, or the curve is so it goes onto the headband correctly, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So now that that's done, we are going to grab our flat iron that is nice and hot now, and I am using this just to smooth out any of the wrinkles, because I had to pick the spots in the fabric where it was folded, so there are wrinkles very deep into that fabric, but using the flat iron kind of got them out. So here I am just laying down one piece of fabric and grabbing a coaster, and this is a silicone finger mold that I just put on. I got them at Dollar Tree. They are great for not burning your finger. And all I'm doing here is putting some hot glue along the edge of the coaster and tapping the fabric, or folding the fabric over and tapping it down. And like I said, those silicone finger molds are great, just so you don't burn your finger on the hot glue or on the hot glue gun. My hot glue gun that I'm using here is just a really cheap one from Joann's, but if you have a nicer one, go ahead, use it if you want. Otherwise, you can get cheap ones for like less than $5 at like Joann's and Michael's. So now that we have most of our fabric glued down, we're just going to take some polyfill, fluff it out so it's not super clumpy, and stuff it in that opening at the bottom. And I am just using the back of my pen here to make sure that it is nice and round and to all of the edges. I love using the polyfill because it gets your ears nice and puffy and it just looks super nice. Then we're just gonna close up the bottom here. And like I said, we are going to repeat that step 3 more times. So this is what you're going to end up with. And now we are going to just glue these together. So I am picking which ones I want for the front and back of my ears, and we're just taking some hot glue and putting it around the edges. And I also like to do this little snowflake X-y design in the middle, just so it stays closed. And now I'm just using my palms to press it together. And don't worry if you see like that gap, we are gonna cover it with trim around the edge. So we're just gonna do that with the other two, and we're gonna move on to adding that trim I told you about. So I did choose this rhinestone trim. It's actually ribbon, but I got it at Michael's. This is what it looks like. Here's the brand, and it does come in those rows of 4. But for this, we're just gonna cut off 1 row of those rhinestones, and that is all we need for the width of our ear, which that'll make sense here in a second. But we are gonna take some hot glue and just do a thin little line on that seam or that gap that we have, and we're just gonna put the rhinestone trim over the hot glue. It's really pretty simple, and we're just gonna do that all the way around the ear. And then if there's any extra hanging off the end, which I did have a little bit, we're just gonna take scissors and snip that off here in a second. And we are gonna repeat that on the other ear as well. And like I said, here is where I had just a little bit of the extra ribbon. So we're just gonna take our scissors here and snip that off. But look at how pretty it looks with the rhinestones on there. I think it adds just the perfect amount of sparkle. And here are both of them with that nice rhinestone detail on there. Ooh, we're gonna make a bow now. So I got this fabric at Walmart. It was in a fat quarter, which is just a fabric size. But we are doing a no-sew hem. So I'm just laying down a line of hot glue and folding over the edge on all 4 sides of this rectangle that I cut. I could not tell you the dimensions on this rectangle, guys. I really think that this was just like a scrap of this fabric that I had, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a good size for a bow. But if you want a bigger bow than what I have, you can cut a rectangle that is about 10 inches by 7 inches and do this exact same method, and it gives you the perfect, what I consider the perfect size bow. But here is the last side of that hem, and we're just folding over that fabric into that hot glue, and this just makes sure that the fabric, or that the edges of the fabric don't fray. And now I am just figuring out how I want to fold my bow. So I did end up deciding to fold half of it over into the middle and do that on the other side as well. And now we are just going to pinch it into a lovely little bow shape. Which, I don't really have a method for that. I just kind of pinch it like you saw and then add some hot glue in those little folds. I'm so sorry I can't be more specific, guys, but that's just kind of what I do. And then, so I do that on the front and also on the back. And that just makes sure that everything is secure and that it keeps that bow shape really nicely. So I'm just going to hold that for a couple seconds until it dries. Then there was a string that I needed to cut off, whoops. And now we're taking that lovely cupcake fabric again and cutting a little strip of it. Again, I couldn't tell you the dimensions. I eyeball a lot of this stuff, honestly. Whoops. But I am just cutting a little strip of that to go around the middle of the bow. We're gonna put a little dot of hot glue, lay it down, and wrap it around. Just like that. And then I did have more of that fabric than I needed, so we're just gonna cut off part of that and then hot glue that little flap down. And there is our really cute little bow. Again, if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can definitely do that. This is just the fabric that I had on hand. So now that we have all of our pieces assembled, we can go ahead and get it onto our headband. So here I am just like laying everything out to make sure it looks the way I want it before I, hot glue everything down. So I am just going to take my hot glue gun and put a pretty generous amount of hot glue on the bottom of this ear, as you see. And then I am just going to, I kind of eyeball it, but there are templates you can find online. But we're just going to hold it onto the headband for about 30 seconds or so, just until that hot glue dries. And yeah, I like to press pretty hard. It does not bend the coasters, or it shouldn't bend anything inside the ear, but I just like to make sure that it is nice and secure on there. So there is one ear down, and we are just going to do the same thing on the other side with that other ear. So there are the ears on there, and then we can take our really cute little bow and we are just going to put some hot glue right on the bottom of the bow here in the middle, and then we are just going to press it down in the middle of our headband in that space that we left. And like I said, I just kind of eyeball where I put my ears now, but generally people leave about 2, maybe 2.5, 3 inches between the 2 ears in the middle for that bow. And Again, just press it down until that glue dries and fluff out your bow. And also get any like loose hot glue strings off of it. All right, that is it for this tutorial, guys. Like I said before, let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts, what you think. Do you like these ears? Are they not your style? Do you want me to do more? So yeah, just leave all that fun stuff down in the comments for me. And I'm gonna give you guys a closer look at these ears. Woo. So here they are. The cupcake fabric is adorable. Here's the bow, more cupcakes, and then on the edge, ooh, you don't want to see me. I just have rhinestones. And then here is the back. All right, let's get these guys back on. There we go. That looks much better. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a magical day. Bye.